Personal growth is the starting point of every meaningful achievement. Before circumstances change, before income increases, before recognition arrives, the individual must change. Life rarely improves by accident. It improves when a person becomes more capable, more aware, and more disciplined. The greatest investment anyone can make is not in property, business, or possessions, but in their own development. When you grow as a person, everything connected to you begins to grow as well. Your thinking becomes sharper, your decisions become wiser, and your confidence becomes grounded in real ability. Opportunities do not seek out those who remain the same. They respond to those who continuously improve. The world makes space for people who bring value. And value is created through learning and refinement of character. Personal growth begins with mindset. What you believe about yourself determines what you attempt. And what you attempt determines what you become. A person who believes they can learn will always outperform a person who believes they already know enough. Growth requires humility, the willingness to admit that improvement is possible and necessary. The moment someone stops learning is the moment they begin falling behind, even if they do not realize it immediately. Daily habits play a critical role in personal development. Reading a few pages each day, listening to educational material, practicing a useful skill, or reflecting on lessons learned may seem small, but these actions compound over time. Just as poor habits slowly weaken a person, positive habits quietly build strength, intelligence, and resilience. Consistency matters more than intensity. Growth does not demand perfection, it demands persistence. Personal growth also involves responsibility. Instead of blaming circumstances, successful individuals ask better questions. What can I improve? What can I do differently? What skill do I need to develop next? This shift in thinking transforms obstacles into teachers and challenges into training grounds. Growth-minded individuals understand that difficulty is not punishment, it is preparation. As a person grows, their standards rise. They become more careful with time, more selective with influences, and more intentional with effort. They stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline. This internal shift creates momentum, and momentum creates confidence. Confidence built on growth is unshakable because it is earned. In the end, personal growth is not about becoming better than others. It is about becoming better than yesterday. When growth becomes a lifestyle, success becomes a natural outcome. Change the person and the results will follow. Goals give direction to effort and meaning to daily action. Without clear goals, energy is wasted on activity that feels busy but produces little progress. Many people work hard, stay occupied, and remain exhausted, yet they move nowhere because their effort lacks focus. Goals act as a compass. They tell you where to aim, what to prioritize, and what to say no to. When a goal is clearly defined, the mind begins to organize behavior around it. Decisions become easier because there is a standard to measure them against. Time is no longer spent reacting to life, it is invested intentionally. A clear goal turns ordinary days into purposeful steps and transforms long-term dreams into manageable actions. Goals also create urgency. When there is no destination, there is no reason to move quickly or consistently. But when a person knows exactly what they are working toward, procrastination loses its power. Each day becomes an opportunity to move closer, and wasted time becomes more noticeable. Goals sharpen awareness and encourage better use of one's most valuable resource, time. Writing goals down strengthens commitment. A goal that exists only in the mind is easily forgotten or replaced by distractions. When written, it becomes real. It creates accountability and provides a reference point for progress. Reviewing goals regularly reinforces belief and keeps attention focused, especially during moments of doubt or fatigue. Goals do more than guide action. They shape character. Pursuing a meaningful goal requires patience, discipline, and perseverance. These qualities are developed through the process, not the achievement itself. Even when progress feels slow, growth is occurring beneath the surface. Every step taken toward a goal strengthens confidence and self-respect because it proves that promises to oneself can be kept. Well-set goals are balanced and realistic. They stretch ability without breaking spirit. Goals should challenge comfort zones while remaining achievable through consistent effort. When goals are aligned with values, motivation becomes deeper and more sustainable. People do not quit goals that reflect who they truly want to become. Most importantly, goals provide hope. They create a vision of a better future and give reason to endure temporary discomfort. Life without goals feels random. Life with goals feels intentional. Direction brings clarity. Clarity builds confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. In the end, goals do not guarantee success, but they dramatically increase the odds. A person with clear goals is already ahead of someone drifting without direction. Effort guided by purpose always travels farther than effort guided by chance. Discipline and consistency are the invisible forces behind every lasting achievement. Talent may open the door, and motivation may provide a spark, but discipline is what keeps progress alive when excitement fades. The truth is, most people know what they should do. The difference lies in who does it consistently. Success is less about intensity and more about reliability. Motivation is emotional and temporary. It rises when things are new or when inspiration strikes, but it disappears when discomfort arrives. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision made in advance. It is choosing to act according to long-term values rather than short-term feelings. When discipline becomes a habit, progress no longer depends on mood, weather, or circumstance. Consistency turns small actions into powerful results. A single effort rarely changes a life, but repeated effort compounds over time. Just as interest grows through regular deposits, improvement grows through daily practice. The most successful people are not those who do extraordinary things occasionally, but those who do ordinary things faithfully. Discipline also builds trust with oneself. Each time a person follows through on a commitment, self-respect increases. Confidence is not something people are born with. It is something they earn by keeping promises to themselves. This internal trust becomes a quiet strength that carries them through challenges and uncertainty. The process is rarely dramatic. Discipline often looks boring, repetitive, and unnoticed. There are no applause moments for showing up early, practicing again, or choosing effort over comfort. Yet these are the very actions that separate progress from stagnation. Consistency thrives in silence long before it shows results in public. Discipline does not mean perfection. Everyone misses days, makes mistakes, and falls short at times. What matters is returning to the standard quickly. Consistency is not about never failing. It is about never quitting. The ability to reset and continue is a powerful form of strength. Over time, discipline simplifies life. Decisions become automatic because standards are already set. There is less negotiation with excuses and less emotional resistance. What once required effort becomes routine, and what once felt difficult becomes normal. In the long run, discipline creates freedom. It reduces stress, builds stability, and expands opportunity. Those who master consistency gain control over their time, their habits, and their future. When discipline leads and consistency follows, success becomes predictable rather than accidental. A balanced life is the key to sustainable achievement. Progress that ignores health, relationships, or inner well-being eventually collapses under its own weight. True success is not measured only by income, titles, or recognition, but by the ability to enjoy life while growing in multiple areas. When goals are set with balance in mind, achievement becomes lasting rather than exhausting. Many people focus intensely on one area of life while neglecting others, believing sacrifice must be extreme. While focus is important, imbalance creates hidden costs. Wealth without health limits freedom. Achievement without relationships leads to loneliness. Ambition without emotional stability results in burnout. Balance does not mean equal attention to everything every day. It means intentional care over time. Health forms the foundation of all performance. Energy, clarity, and resilience depend on physical well-being. When the body is neglected, productivity suffers and motivation fades. Simple habits such as proper rest, movement, and nutrition protect the ability to pursue long-term goals. Taking care of health is not a distraction from success, it is a requirement for it. Relationships are another essential pillar of a balanced life. Strong connections provide support during difficulty and meaning during success. Time invested in family, friendships, and meaningful connections strengthens emotional stability and perspective. People who feel supported are more focused, more resilient, and more fulfilled. No achievement feels complete when there is no one to share it with. Emotional balance allows individuals to handle pressure without losing direction. Life will bring stress, criticism, and unexpected change. Emotional strength makes it possible to stay calm, think clearly, and respond wisely. Balance in this area comes from self-awareness, reflection, and the ability to pause before reacting. Contribution adds depth to achievement. When success is used only for personal gain, fulfillment remains limited. Serving others, sharing knowledge, and adding value beyond oneself creates a sense of purpose that money alone cannot provide. Contribution transforms success from something that looks good into something that feels meaningful. A balanced life is not achieved by chance. It is designed. It requires regular reflection and honest adjustment. When goals are aligned across health, relationships, growth, and contribution, progress becomes sustainable. Balance allows success to be enjoyed, repeated, and maintained over the long term, making achievement not just impressive, but deeply fulfilling. I want to make sure I get this exactly right for you so far. We defined and expanded only 4 keynotes. There was no keynote 5 introduced earlier. You have 2 clean options. Tell me which one you want, and I'll deliver it immediately in the same tone and depth. Option 1, you want me to create and expand a new keynote 5 that naturally fits the speech, for example, clarity of purpose, contribution, vision, or self-leadership. Option 2, you want me to expand a specific theme you already have in mind, just name it. Reply with create keynote 5, or tell me the theme and I'll write the full expansion up to 500 words, no heading, no speaker name, without delay. The message across these ideas is simple but powerful. Real progress is intentional. Growth begins from within, guided by clear goals, strengthened through discipline, and sustained by balance. When a person commits to improving themselves, they naturally improve their results. When effort is directed by purpose, time becomes productive instead of wasted. When discipline replaces dependency on motivation, consistency turns potential into reality. A fulfilling life is not built in one area alone. Success that lasts requires attention to health, relationships, emotional strength, and contribution. Ignoring any of these creates gaps that eventually limit progress. Balance allows achievement to be enjoyed, not endured, and ensures that success enhances life rather than consuming it. The future does not respond to wishes or intentions, it responds to action. Small daily choices, made with clarity and repeated with discipline, shape outcomes over time. Growth is a process, not an event, and those who commit to it gain confidence, resilience, and control over their direction. When these principles are practiced together, progress becomes predictable. Life begins to move forward with purpose instead of pressure. The result is not just achievement, but fulfillment, a life designed with intention, lived with discipline, and sustained with balance.